Hello, and welcome once again to the darkened room of music conversation. I'm Chris.
And I'm Darren.
Today we're going to list our favorite AM radio songs.
Ooh.
We've picked 40, 20 between us.
Yep.
And, this is not an end-all, be-all. Like I think you were saying this earlier. This is not a definitive top 40
Yeah, it's our
list.
favorites.
It's our favorites,
Yeah.
right. Right. So, no particular order. I'm just going to name one. He's going to name one. And if he picks an artist or a song that I was going to pick, I can't pick it anymore. So I've got to choose something else. We're invoking a no judgment zone here. As you can see, some of these are particularly cheesy.
Right.
But they're still great songs.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Don't judge us.
And you'll hear me say this over and over. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. If you like it, you like it. There should be no guilt in you liking something.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree. So I guess I'll get it started. What do you say?
Let's get it started.
Okay. My first pick is going to be "Baby Come Back" by Player.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite songs from AM radio times.
When I think of the 70s, man, that's one of the first ones I think of.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, when I think top 40 AM radio, the very first song that pops in my head is the Bee Gees and How Deep Is Your Love. I think it's a pop masterpiece. I think it's a brilliant song, and that's my first choice.
That's one of those songs that no matter what mood you're in, even though it's slow and smooth, it puts you in a good mood.
Sure.
I really like it.
And it's one of those, too, that just takes me back. It makes me feel, there's like comfort in hearing songs that you listen to as a little kid, you know?
Right.
So,
okay, my next one is The Air That I Breathe from the Hollies.
wonderful. And you have any idea who engineered that?
Yeah, but I'm blanking.
Alan Parsons.
That's right.
Alan
That's
Parsons,
right.
that's right. And if you listen to it, you can kind of tell.
Oh, totally, yeah. One of my favorite uses of this song was in the movie Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. Check that movie out.
Very cool. All right, Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street is my next choice. Once again, a definitive song from the 70s, an absolute classic, a masterpiece, and can't imagine this list without it.
Right. Yeah, fantastic sax solo in that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, my next pick is England Dan and John Ford Coley. I'd really love to see you tonight.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
And kind of a similar song. My next choice is Sills and Crofts, Summer Breeze.
Very nice. So it's me now, right?
You're up.
Okay, my next pick is Dave Mason, We Just Disagree.
And you're picking a lot of the things that I had on my list. That's a wonderful song.
You've already hit a few that I picked as well.
Yeah, and one that's kind of, I don't know why they don't sound similar, but I think of the song in the same vein for some reason. My next choice is Paul Davis, I Go Crazy.
That is a good one. Yeah. All right, my next one is Robert John, Sad Eyes. I remember as a kid camping with my grandparents. We were at a campground that had a pool, and they were playing a tape on loop over the swimming
like
pool.
A K-Tel
like
collection.
a K-Tel kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I remember this song was one of them, and I heard it like 5 times that day because it was like 10 songs just playing on a loop.
It's a great song.
Yeah, fond memories of that one.
It really is. All right, well, my next choice, it's a song I've always loved, the singer, always loved every band, any incarnation of any group that he's in and the lead singer of. I'm speaking of John Waite when he fronted the Babies in Every Time I Think of You. I think that's just a classic song. It reminds me a lot of like Motown. It's got the female backing vocals. And as the song progresses and it kind of picks up energy, I don't know, it just kind of has that Motown duet feeling to me.
It does, yeah.
And I love it. And as I've gotten older, I love the song even more. So that's my next choice.
Sweet. My next one is Sister Golden Hair by America. One of my favorite songs here. I love the opening line.
Yeah.
I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed. So I set my sights on Monday, got myself undressed.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and I had Ventura Highway on my list, but man, Sister Golden Hair, you can't go wrong with that one.
Right.
All right, my next choice is the first song I remember hearing on the radio, period, outside of the country realm. And one of my friend's parents was driving us around town in White House, Tennessee, and this song came over the AM radio, and I've never forgotten it. And it is Steely Dan, Ricky Don't Lose That Number. Just a very memorable moment. Of course, Steely Dan became one of my favorite bands ever.
Right.
And when I was compiling this list, that of course was the first memory that I had. So that is my choice.
Very nice. Firefall comes in my next pick. Just Remember I Love You.
Cool. Yeah, I had Strange Way.
That's a great one, too. I kind of had a hard time picking between the two.
Yeah.
So.
And there's so many of these songs, you know, it's like, I'm going to beat you to some of them, you're going to beat me to some of them. But
sure.
So many great songs from the 70s in this category.
Right.
And I love this stuff. I may listen to some of these songs once the episode's over.
Yeah.
All right, Ace, How Long? Paul Carrick fronted band from 1975, a definitive track from the 70s. And I remember your dad telling me that he was in a band in the 70s that covered that song.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably played that bass line.
Uh-huh.
I love it. One of the greatest, most memorable bass lines of the 70s, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, my next pick is one that I know that you're not fond of.
Uh-oh.
Nilsson Without You.
All right. Let me set the record straight here. Yeah. I love Nilsson.
Yeah.
I think he's an absolute amazing talent. But there's certain songs, and hopefully you're not going to name some of these two later in the list, but Without You and All By Myself and I Will Always Love You. All of those songs are kind of like in the same vein for me.
They are,
You know, very, let me slip my wrist, I'm going to die. But it's a great song.
Yes.
It really is a great song. I like other Nilsson songs better than that, but I can't argue with your choice here.
He's a fantastic artist, multi-talented too.
Yeah, when two of the Beatles say that you're the best artist out there, then you're legit in my eyes.
Exactly right.
Okay, well, one of my favorite bands is checking in next. I think we're at number 16 here, if my count is correct overall. ELO, Evil Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Telephone Line more.
Yeah.
Because my dad had the 45 of that.
Sure.
And the beginning of that sounded so AM radio anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like your pick.
Cool.
All right. So my next pick is Ambrosia. How Much I Feel.
Great song.
It is a great song.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving right along. My next one is Rod Stewart, You're in My Heart. Many great choices that I could have picked for Rod Stewart. I'm sure you had something on your list, but
yeah.
But I don't know that one. And I remember hearing a story one time where the drummer for Rod Stewart, it was Carmen Appice, said that it always gave him goosebumps when they played this song live, that all the crowd would sing along, and it was just one of those moments, that
I'm sure there's no other feeling like that.
Right,
Yeah.
very powerful live. Yeah. But that's the one when I think of Top 40 AM that comes to mind for me.
Yeah. All right, next one is probably my favorite, or at least one of my favorite Eagles songs. It's One of These Nights. It's got a great building intro. Love that song.
Yeah. Great guitar solo, too.
It is.
Great choice, man. I like that one, too. It kind of kicked off, kind of got them out of the country vein of the music that they had created prior to that. Yeah. More of an R&B type song, and I think it was very important in the progression of their career. So, excellent choice. Right. All right, my next one is one of those one-hit wonders, the Sanford Townsend Band and Smoke from a Distant Fire.
Okay, that is a really great song. That's a great song.
Yeah, it sounds like a TV theme song to me. I've always thought it should have been like a television theme song.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, my next pick is the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes.
Man, excellent.
Is nothing more classic than that song.
No. And if you think about it, think about the influence that one song had.
Yeah.
You had Steal Away, Robbie Dupree.
Yeah.
He's So Shy by the Pointer Sisters, that whole
Yep.
Very, very similar. So,
right.
Great song. There is not a song that's more definitive for an AM Top 40 list than that one. And along those same lines, I'm going to go with my next choice, Kenny Loggins and Stevie Nicks, Whenever I Call You Friend.
Good one, yes. I like that one. All right. My next pick is, I definitely remember this one off of AM radio.
Yeah.
I think I heard it off of my little red AM radio there on my bicycle.
Cool.
Is Orleans, Dance With Me.
I had Still the One on my list.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my favorite. It was hard for me to pick between the two.
In retrospect, I think I like Dance With Me better than Still the One.
Yeah.
But Still the One's still a great song.
It is a great song.
All right. Up next for me is going to be Walter Egan, Magnet and Steel. Once again, a little help from the Fleetwood Mac characters, as in Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. So I love it.
All right, so my next pick is a memory of me in a car on Main Street in a little town called Carthage, Tennessee.
I wonder what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's Bob Seger's Main Street.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember that so well. I was in the backseat of my parents' car driving down the road, and I saw the Main Street sign go by, and this song was on, and it was an AM radio station.
You know what's so weird about that song? It's like it's not a depressing. It sounds really serious and emotional.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird that the song, the feel of that song is just really unique. I really love it.
It really is.
And as I've gotten older, I love it even more.
Yeah.
My next choice, and there's so many great Fleetwood Mac songs you could choose, but you got to narrow it down to one. That's the rules. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
It's not a bad choice. Yeah. My next one is Gino Vanelli, I Just Want to Stop.
What a great song. Gino didn't often tear up the charts, but man, when he had a hit song, great stuff. That one's great. I love People Gotta Move, and in the 80s, I had Living Inside Myself. I love all those songs equally. But that's a great choice, my friend.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yep.
And oddly enough, I think I left that off my list somehow. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
That's really strange. All right. Well, my next one, because it seriously is one of my favorites, Atlanta Rhythm Section, So Into You. That's my next choice.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, too. I really do like that one.
Yeah.
Bob Welch, Sentimental Lady. How about that?
The late, great Bob Welch. Also a member of Fleetwood Mac at some point before Lindsey and Stevie joined. Also was living in Nashville up until the time of his death.
That's right, yeah. He was also with the band when they did the song Hypnotize, which is one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs as well.
Yeah, which Sentimental Lady actually is on a Fleetwood Mac album.
There you go.
And he remade it for that. And still brought along Christine McVie and the other guys from Fleetwood Mac to play on it.
Yeah.
So a little tidbit of information for you there.
There you go.
All right, one of the darkest and coolest songs ever. I can't ever imagine not having this song in my life, and it's been in my life since I was 6, so do the math. Boz Scaggs' Lowdown.
Oh, yeah. That's funky, groovy, very R&B. Love that song.
Yeah, it's excellent.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to remind everybody that this is a no judgment zone.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Dan Hill, Sometimes When We Touch.
That's a great song.
It's a great song, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about it. Don't judge me.
Once again, my next choice, so many great options here. One of my favorite artists who has ever lived. Had to pick one song, though, so I narrowed it down to more of a happy song, one that meant a whole lot for me. Elton John, Philadelphia Freedom.
Oh, okay.
And I guess I can say this, and we can I'll print it for good on here. I think Elton John from 1970 to 1975 was the best pop music ever recorded in a 5-year span.
It would be hard to argue with that.
Yeah, better than the Beatles, better than the Stones, better than anything ever, in my opinion. From 70 to 75, Elton John. If you're not familiar with that stuff, what is wrong with you? Go get it right now.
I wanted to pick Tiny Dancer, but it only made it to number 41 on the list. And the rules we set for ourselves.
Is that strange? That's so strange to me.
It's very strange because it's the iconic song you think of first. One of the songs you think of first when you think of Elton John.
Yeah, it would be hard to say, and this is probably another episode, but I guess if I had to narrow it down to my 3 favorite Elton songs ever, I would say Tiny Dancer. I don't know about in this order, but it would be, these 3 songs. Philadelphia Freedom and Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah.
That's my 3.
Of course, I would put Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. And this is before the George Michael stuff. But that's been one of my favorite Elton John songs.
It's beautiful.
For the longest time.
It's beautiful.
It is. It really is. Okay, my next pick is Drift Away by Dobie Gray.
No cheap cover versions here.
No.
The original, man.
The original is fantastic.
Sure
there's nothing wrong with it, and there's no need to remake it.
And you know who you are. Stop that. All right. Coming in next for me, once again, so many great choices here. We've already hit on one Piano Man. We might as well hit on the other one. Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. I think it's the...
You can hit on a Piano Man if you want. I'm not doing that. Not that there's anything wrong with
that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. All right, so there's so many great choices with Billy Joel from the 70s, but I kind of picked the one that is more AM radio friendly in my eyes. And I don't know if you ever know this, if you line the song up Just the Way You Are with 10cc's I'm Not in Love, it's very similar in the verse section.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, the type of instrumentation going on, all of that. Just check it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Very nice. All right, we don't talk anymore.
We don't?
Yeah, Cliff Richard.
I'll see you later. Oh, Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard. Yeah. We don't talk anymore. That's my next pick.
That's 79.
It's 79. It came out in like October.
Wow.
It hit the Hot 100 chart.
Then it
so
fits.
I say it qualifies.
All right. Well, I already brought it up. I might as well make it official. 10cc, I'm not in love.
Yeah, may as well stick it in there now, right?
I might as well stick it in there now.
All right, cool. My next pick then, moving on, again, No Judgment Zone, Leo Sayer, When I Need You.
Oh, that's a great song.
It's a great, it's great.
That one and Sad Eyes, I kind of think of them in the same vein.
They sound very similar.
Yeah. So, something about the atmosphere of those. I can't think of one without the other.
Right. Yep.
So strange. All right. Well, no judgment here. Dr. Hook, Sharing the Night Together. I love it. I love that song.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Do you like that song?
That's a great, I would say that's their best song.
Yeah. Really? Their best song? Yeah.
I think it's their best
It's my
song.
favorite.
Because their others seem to be more
novelty.
Novelty is exactly the word I was going to use.
Yeah.
So,
totally agree.
All right. So I'm down to my final pick. And I think I'm going to make it the Little River Band, Reminiscing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of a list like this in the 70s, man, how many times did that song get played?
A lot.
And I know at the time, too, I remember hearing this, that like Frank Sinatra, that was his favorite song.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, I can see that because it's
totally
very much pays an homage back to the old big band days.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm down to my last pick. This group meant a whole lot to me in the 80s, but they had, their moments in the 70s too, including like number one songs like Rich Girl. I think that was their first number one song. But because of a list like this, I think I'm going to go with Sarah Smile.
Oh, okay.
As my last choice.
Yeah. I like that pick.
Hall & Oates. Forgot to
nice.
mention that. But yeah, they got really, really cooking in the 80s, but man, their 70s stuff is great too. And their first three albums on the Atlantic label, they're really good. It's a different bag. One of my good friends, Richie Cernilia, outrageous guitar player, played guitar on War Babies. That is a really trippy record. It's produced by Todd Rundgren. It's way out there. Not to get sidetracked here, but
no, not at all.
Check it out.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, I think we've just named 40. What do you think?
Yes.
Is our count right? Yeah. There it is. Our 40 favorite AM radio songs from 1970 to 1979. Let us know what your favorite song is. If we left something out that you like, stick it in the comments.
There's
and let us
so
know.
many, man. So many honorable mentions. We could be here till this time next week listing AM radio songs from the 70s. So once again, this is just our favorites. It doesn't mean if your song that you love so much wasn't listed that we hate it or anything. I'm sure we love it.
Yeah.
in all honesty.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, like we said, it's not a definitive list.
Right.
So, my list of favorites could probably go on to 100. So.
Thanks for watching this episode of In a Darkened Room. You can find the link to this episode's companion Spotify playlist in the description. Darren and Chris welcome your comments. You can leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Follow In a Darkened Room on Twitter to receive updates and submit your ideas for what we should discuss in upcoming episodes. Darren and Chris are also on Instagram, so give them a follow there as well. All of these links can be found in the description below. While you're there, be sure to click subscribe and ring the bell.
All right, random topic time. Let's draw from the bowl. What do you say?
Is it my draw?
I believe it is.
All right.
If it's not, why does it matter?
No one's keeping score at home anyway.
Nah.
All right, so here's where we pick a random topic out of the bowl, and we just talk about it off the top of our head.
Right.
And it looks like we have Nashville radio in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah. Well, let's step up a decade, why don't we?
Let's do it. So, so go ahead. Tell us your thoughts and memories of rock or just Nashville radio.
Well, I can't think of radio in the 80s without thinking of Y107.
Yeah.
Coyote McLeod in the morning.
Yeah.
The 5 o'clock whistle.
The Zoo Crew, isn't that what they called it?
The Zoo Crew, yeah, came in the late 80s, I believe they came along.
Yeah.
But man,
Charlie Walker, there was a Charlie guy too with them. I can't think of his name.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
All I know is towards the end of the decade of the 80s, they had probably one of the highest share ratings, which that is like kind of like a Nielsen rating, but it's for radio.
And this is when people really listened to the radio a lot. It was a big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They had like a 17 share, and that is absolutely unheard of.
Right.
They were like the dominant radio station in Nashville. It's quite amazing that they pulled that off.
Yeah, it is. My recollection of the 80s is more rock radio oriented. So I would, bring up WKDF, of course.
Oh, of course, the legend.
Carl P. Mayfield in the morning.
Yeah.
I listened to that station religiously for years and years. But then there were also 96 Kiss. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember when that first came on. I remember they were looping Hit the Road Jack while they were about to flip the format.
Yeah.
And it went on for like a week.
Yeah.
And the very first song they played as 96 Kiss was Jump by Van Halen.
Cool.
I remember that well. Yeah.
Kicks 104, which...
Kicks 104. That was actually one of my favorite radio stations.
Yeah, mine too.
At least while it existed. It seemed to drop off because Y107 just dominated.
Yeah, right around, I want to say 86 or 87, Kicks 104 turned into the Fox 104.5,
That's right.
the Fox, which I eventually got hired at that station. The other station that I brought up, WKDF 103, which was a rock station. This man right here was a DJ on there. So so it was kind of cool to grow up and listening to the radio and then actually being on the radio. It was a trip, man. It was a lot of fun.
It was. And I think it was about 1989 that Lightning 100 came on the air as well. And that was a big moment for me because I love the AAA stuff.
Yeah.
And Lightning 100, it's still on the air to this day, which is also unheard of.
And you couldn't get it anywhere else.
Right.
I mean, nobody else in this market would go anywhere near that music.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I loved radio. Still love the format. It kind of makes me sad that radio is not where it used to be.
Oh, man. I think of that on a daily basis, how much I miss it.
Because there's just something about turning the mic on and just going for it. You
Yeah.
just don't hear that. Everything is more produced and homogenized, and then
it's all formatted and decided by people in corporate offices now. It's it's not down at the local level anymore.
Right, and we both saw that 20 years ago, 25 years ago when we were in it. We kind of saw it going
Sensed
in
it
that
coming.
direction.
Yeah.
So this is a lot more fun.
Yes.
And we've done both, so we can say that.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with another episode.
See you soon.
Take care.
All right.